Merry Christmas Eve and welcome to Weekend Recharge. I'm Julie Martin in for Maria today.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Millions of you are waking up to jaw-dropping sights. Snow falling, snow on the ground for a white Christmas.
Yeah, and that means many of you are going to be dashing through the snow for last-minute gifts, also to get to church services, but travel could get a little bit down by our other winter storm, Dylan, yesterday. Real mess there in New England. So taking a look at our current setup here, we are looking at that system pushing across the Great Lakes and into the east as the day progresses. So on this Christmas Eve, expecting all of this to shift off to the east, which means we are going to be getting some of that snow likely for Christmas Day here in the Northeast. What's going to happen is as this low pushes off to the east, we also have it meeting up with another one that's going to be out over the Atlantic. This one developing along the coastal areas and pushing up into the Northeast. Now, it just depends how close this actually gets to the coast. Some of the bigger cities like Boston, you're going to be right on the cusp of that. So taking a look at kind of a wintry mess here in the Northeast as you wake up, as you head to bed tonight, rather, and get ready for Christmas Day. Washington, D.C., too warm for you. It's going to be rain. But where you see the pink here showing up, places like New York and Boston, you're going to be just on the edge of it. So, again, stay tuned because this could shift a little bit as well, and you could be looking at more snow than rain or a rain-snow mix. Snow certainly, though, for upstate New York, Vermont, much of Maine and Connecticut, all of you getting plenty of that white stuff for Christmas morning. Here's a look at Christmas morning. We've got the snow falling from Watertown and Burlington all the way back down into Portland and Albany. Hartford going to be on the edge of it as well. And again, can't rule out the possibility of a white Christmas there in Boston, at least from some fresh white snow. You might at least see some flakes. How about that? Magic.
How big is that book?
Our gift to you. Nice little bow on top. Here we go, right? Our 7-day stretch. And we got a lot going on in the east right now.
Yeah, Winter Storm Ethan now moving on to the Midwest. That is heading into the Northeast later on tonight, guaranteeing you a white Christmas for many areas.
Absolutely. And here in the west, looks like some more snow coming in as well. And then really, really cold air just taking hold across much of the nation.
Today's Sunday, right?
Today is...
This is actually Monday's forecast, so pay no attention to these.
You're right. You're right. That is Monday.
This is Christmas forecast here.
A little behind.
We are seeing snow come down all across the Northeast New England for your Christmas Day. And also the mountains in the west also enjoying plenty of fresh snow for you snowboarders and skiers out west.
All right. So
Tuesday.
we move on, and we're looking again at the big story really being the cold, right? We've got that Arctic air coming in and looking at just a high of 2 degrees there in the Twin Cities, 11 in Chicago. So, yeah, feeling the chill.
Tuesday into Wednesday, notice how the lake effect snow bands continue here. Again, we have lake effect snow warnings that'll start today and go through Wednesday. That's how cold this air and the persistent northwesterly and westerly flow will be. So lake effect zones, yeah, you're guaranteed a white Christmas, day after Christmas, 2 days after Christmas as well.
Yeah, and by midweek we get another system going here in the Pacific Northwest, spilling out over the Rockies, and then very messy weather here in the south as well.
Again, this is Thursday's forecast, so definitely keeping an eye on the mid-south. Freezing rain, ice, and some snow. Remember, the cold air has already been there for a couple of days, so it's setting the stage for perhaps some dangerous travel by the middle of next week.
Yeah, and then as we head into the next holiday weekend, New Year's Eve, right, we're looking at more messy weather and perhaps another big storm.
Yeah, this is Friday's weather forecast. So notice how the mid-Atlantic, Tennessee Valley, Carolinas, definitely kind of iffy and tricky. Maybe some snow for D.C. and as far south as maybe Virginia Beach. But the Carolinas, Charlotte, Nashville could see some wintry weather as well. And then by next Saturday, well, this is New Year's Eve? No, this is day before.
This will be the day before New Year's Eve, yeah.
So, interesting stories across the east with the cold air in play.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Some of you are still out probably trying to get some of those gifts, and Mother Nature could have a nasty surprise.
Our business weather, more snow, so if you want to build your own snowman, more people will be doing that, not only on Christmas Eve, but also on Christmas Day from the Midwest all the way to the Northeast, even New England.
That's right. Half past the hour now. Weekend Recharge rolls on. I'm Julie Martin.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. This is Christmas Eve, and we have another winter storm.
totals. So let's take you out and take a look at tonight, Christmas Eve through Christmas Day. We are looking at anywhere from 8 inches to a foot of snow throughout much of Maine. Boston, for you, you're going to be right on the edge of it. Could be a rain-snow mix for you, but again, that could shift a little bit just depending on our setup here. So stay tuned here. Certainly Vermont, New Hampshire, back up into upstate New York, looking at anywhere from even 12 to 18 inches as we get into places like the Tug Hill Plateau. And then for most of you, Albany headed south, anywhere from say 3 to 5 inches of snow. So some pretty hefty snow totals here with Ethan. Here's our setup right now. Paul was mentioning our system developing and pushing through the Midwest. There it is. That's that low. Here's our dip in the jet stream. We have a couple of ingredients coming together, though. That light snow developing here, which isn't going to amount to all that much, but we are looking at this as well. A coastal low pressure system developing here. That is going to track up to the northeast. Depends on how close that gets to the coast in terms of just how the coastal areas are treated here. The thing is, we have plenty of cold air in place, so the snow, it's not going to be a question in places like New England. You're going to get it in the interior here. It's just going to be a matter of what the coastal areas get in this case. So as we track this out, Christmas Eve, this is 10 o'clock this evening, snow falling in Buffalo, snow falling in Pittsburgh, rain for you here in Baltimore and D.C. and much of the Delmarva. New York looks like it's going to be a rain event for you as well, but we see a little pink mixing in there, so you may see some flakes flying before you head to bed tonight. And as you wake up tomorrow morning, look for a white Christmas in places like Burlington, Vermont. Our storm yesterday, that was Dylan, that dropped a lot of snow and ice in New England. Now we're dealing with Ethan, our next winter storm. So for Portland, taking a look at your timing here, Christmas Eve tonight into Christmas Day, we're looking at 5 to 8 inches of snow. Those winds are going to be up there as well, 15 to 25. Temperatures falling into the low 20s as well. So we'll time this out with our future radar for you. Quiet start to the day, but then here's Christmas morning. We see a lot of that snow moving in and then throughout the afternoon as well. But by Christmas night, it's pretty much out of here. So we are looking at kind of a quick hitter coming in as we have pretty much a classic nor'easter setting up here in these parts. Burlington, Vermont, for you, it's going to be tonight into Christmas Day as well. Not quite as much snow, 3 to 5 inches though. Winds are still going to be gusting to around 15 miles per hour as well, with those temperatures falling into the low 20s. So just how much snow are we going to see in these parts in general? Places like Albany, you could see around 4 inches, certainly as we get back up into the Tug Hill Plateau, places like that, maybe 10 inches or snow. So a winter wonderland for sure. Yeah.
We're at about 21 at Midway, I think 19 at O'Hare with light snow, and this is going to be the snow globe game for today.
Yeah, we've got the Browns and the Bears, and it looks like we're going to be looking at some snow pretty much throughout the game.
Yeah, and even after the game, the snow starts to move on out, but the cold air really comes in. We're going to show you the temperatures for Chicago for the entire week coming up in about 20 minutes. It's going to be bone chilling.
Frigid, yeah. Okay, what about Kansas City? We've got the Miami Dolphins and the Chiefs. Again, cold out there, but no snow, so it looks a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's also not only cold, but windy as well, making it feel colder. And just like Chicago, these numbers in Kansas City will feel balmy by, say, Tuesday and Wednesday this coming week. You got to see that forecast here. And I do have to say, the Dolphins will feel like a fish out of water, literally, with these temperatures and wind chills being very, very chilly as we head on through this afternoon. All
right, and let's take you into Cincinnati right now. Again, cold, but not that cold. And we look at some rain possibly moving in around 5 o'clock. Game starts at 1, but we've got that situation going on there.